let's say that I am owed some money, okay? So I'm going to go to expense receipts, and I'm going to say create a new expense receipt, and I'm going to find myself over here in the employee quick link, or I can even just browse myself. Employee, and I'm going to say, see if I can find myself Brandon, yes. Create it. How much do I owe? Okay, let's say I'm going to buy lunch today, and it was $50.10. And I could say lunch for the bunch. I could come down. Now once again, okay, this is a piece that we haven't covered, is the expense types. I don't have my food and I would want to categorize this as like meals, okay? So I'm going to come back and fix this, but temporarily I'm going to put in an I'm not sure. And I'm going to come down. Oh, I'm sorry. If we're dealing with reimbursements, this little guy is very important. Click. Just one little click turns this expense into a reimbursement. And then I'm going to come down and actually say, hey, how did I pay for that? And I actually am going to use my Visa card today and create the expense. No bank assigned. This is also important. So instead of actually pulling it out of a physical bank, it's like Visa, no bank assigned, do it. Because basically what happens is on a reimbursement, the company doesn't care which bank account I pulled it out of type thing, okay? Basically what they want to do is, oh, I still owe Brandon $50.10. Okay, so that's the important piece. So what ended up happening is it says, yep, reimbursement is yes, and then it comes down and actually kind of says, hey, I was satisfied this way. But guess what? I'm still owed on it. So in order to pay that off, eventually, as I added more and more expenses, I'm going to go back to the home page and click on the AP waiting room, or I can even do REIs. It doesn't make a bit of difference. I'll go ahead and do REIs. I just have one in there and say, hey, you owe Brandon this, and here's the age of it. If I wanted to actually pay that off, it would be as simple as going click, 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 boop, and then you could actually pay off all of my reimbursements. But technically, those are also under the payables homepage, the payables homepage report. So I'm going to go here. If I go under the vendor waiting room, so if I find my name, Brandon Moore, and I come under REIs, I'm now playing part of that puzzle. Okay, you can get to it multiple different ways. Let's put in another one really quick. So I'm going to just say, type in new expense receipt. Hit go. It remembered that I was doing employees last time. I'm going to say, yep, that's correct. I'm going to say, go find Brandon. Perfect. Create it. How much do I want to make them owe me right now? We're just practicing.
Oh, $1,000.
Wow, great, perfect. $1,000, and what's this for?
Just for fun.
Okay.
Training.
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Okay, I need to click reimburse. Okay. Click the reimbursement, and then once again, okay, we keep bypassing this. Remind me, we got to show you expense types, okay? Because I keep saying click, just kind of throwing it under the I don't know, but we'll come right back to this, okay? It remembered my last payment type, and I did the exact same thing. Great. Click. Go ahead and add it. So at this point, if I were to check my personal payables, I basically now am owed $1,050. Okay, does that make sense? Because it has two of them in there. And it's this easy to click them off and pay for them. The difference between splits and REIs is I've already physically paid for it, and then I have to be paid back. A split, technically it's on account, but then I can pay back whatever I want in whatever increments. Okay, and so we actually have a thing in our company, and like say for instance if we're using the company credit card, well we may not pay it fully off at one particular time. And so we actually run our company credit card through splits rather than reimbursements, even though technically it would kind of be better under a reimbursement, but reimbursement requires me to pay off a full value. I just bought a laptop and I paid for the GoToMeeting subscription and I paid for all this other kind of stuff. Well, that's $1,000 some odd. Well, what if I only wanted to put, you know, 500, 800 or something like that? Do I want to run it under this reimbursement or splits? So we chose to run it under splits. That way we can pick and choose which pieces we're paying off rather than a reimbursement. You have to pay off the whole thing, but it does it is a container and a way to do it. Just kind of depends on what you want to, how you want to do it. To pay it off, it's a piece of cake. You literally just go like this, click, click, pay, and you walk through a simple little form and say create it. And what it does is it will end up tying these little pieces to a new one. You're basically creating a one-to-one-to-many relationship. So the new master one that pays it off will hold the smaller pieces. Okay, so really quick, before we do anything like that, we talked about expense type totals. I've just done 2 of them, and one of them I wanted to have food. Let's go ahead and add that in there, okay? So there's a link. Just so everybody can kind of see where I'm at. From the expense receipt homepage, there's a link, and you have to have the permission. This is a permission, and I have permissions to actually edit the expense types. So I click on this, and I can come into the expense types. Now, here's the ones that I have by default. I've been using the I don't know, but I actually want to create a new one. So I'm in add mode. It says new and add. I know I'm in add mode. I can click here and I can say, hey, how do I want to do this? And I'm going to actually create it under semi-fixed food, and I'm just going to put, I don't even really know what to call it really here, right here. What should I call it? How about meals? Something like that. You can put in some sort of a description. I can't even spell. Okay, there we go. Then I hit add the account. As soon as I say add the account, it gives me a little message. Hey, you successfully added it. Now if I scroll down, I technically have food and meals here. And it goes 5 layers deep. Income statement, normal expenses, semi-fixed expenses, under food, and then meals. Okay? It actually does 5 levels deep. If I needed additional ones, this is kind of a whole different tutorial, but if you really need to get tricky on it, you actually click on this little button right here, manage the groupings. If you wanted to manage the groupings, you could technically change any of the verbiage that you needed to that 5 layers deep on your categories. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually go back home and we're going to go fix that expense receipt that we did for lunch, but we're going to actually change it to the right category. So here it is, the $50.10. I'm going to click on edit. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the line item. Right now it's under I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm going to click on edit. And basically what it is, like it looks like I just popped to this page. I'm actually on the exact same page that I was. It just basically popped me lower, okay, into the field where I can actually maintain this thing. So right here I'm going to click on this and I'm going to change this to meals. That simple, and then hit edit line items. So now it's correctly categorized under meals, food and meals.
So at the end of the year when I go to taxes,
Oh, absolutely.
If I it's all up and it will just add.
If I had put everything under I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, well guess what? At some point you have to kind of make sure that they go in the right spots. And there's tons of ways you can do it. Like you're actually almost getting into a semi-accounting level when you're starting. What am I categorizing my things at? Where do I want them to show up? Like this one right here, this is the only one that I have under food, but watch this right here. I'm going to go to the expense receipt homepage, and there's a thing called expense type totals, and I'm going to say, hey, let's grab all of the types, and let's just do it for the current month headquarters. Go get it. So here's everything I have under I don't know, 1,800. I have some reimbursements that I paid off, and I have food right here for $50. And if I click on any of these drill down links, it'll automatically take me to the physical details of what those particular things are. Okay? So it's very, very handy. And it even goes further than that. Like that's just a quick little report. If I were to actually pull my income statement, guess what would show up there? We haven't even touched. All I've been doing is just hammering stuff in, but automatically it's already rerouted. Like this is just for fun, and we'll kind of end here before lunch, but watch this. If I click on income statement right here, the P&L, and I say, hey, that looks like a great date range. Basically, it looks like I have a funky year-end, like my fiscal year is kind of interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and let it run through there, no problem. And I'm going to say, why don't we put this out to a medium view and get the numbers. So it just ran my income statement right now, and I'm not doing too good. I'm losing a little money. So watch this. Here's your revenue, your cost of goods sold, and look at this. Coming down into expenses, it's already detailing you out as far as like where your pieces are. You could even expand it farther. So under food, if we had food meals, food client meetings, food, etc., it could break it out even further. I'm going to click back one time and expand it just to another little deeper level so you can see it. So here's the same income statement.
Oh, okay.
And now it's just a deeper level. And depending on which group you wanted to click on, you could technically just click on these things. Let's do I don't know. Like I'd like to kind of see what all these pieces are. I can click on that and it'll take me back to it and tell me, oh, that one was an REI. This one was here. Oh, Midwest College. Oh, to Brandon. Like it basically tells me some of the story. Okay, that's very important that you know that like all you do is you do your daily business, and then automatically it'll regenerate it into those pieces because we basically say, hey, cool. If you tell it to stick it in this can, we'll let you stick it in that can. So that's what happens. What we're going to do right now is just to kind of wrap up this little section. Why don't we see how we can search some of these due dates for just a minute? And it's just a general search. Every single page inside of Adilas, you have a basic search and an advanced search, okay? And what happens is the basic search is general. It usually means the main, okay? As soon as you want to go to advanced, you can say, am I searching line items? Am I searching payments? Am I searching checks? Am I searching the main? Like there's tons of options you can actually search. What I'm going to do is just take you to the expense receipt homepage. Here's just a couple little ones that we've slammed in just today. Just a couple little expenses. If you wanted to actually search certain things, you could technically just click right here, and you can actually tell it a number of different things. Currently it's saying, hey, search according to the expense receipt date. If I wanted to say, hey, I just want according to the due date, and I wanted everything that was from 3/1 to, let's go out a ways. I think, Shannon, when was yours? Do you remember? I think it was 4 something.
Yeah, April 15th was the due.
Okay, so basically here's a bunch of things that actually pull in some of the due dates from 3/1 clear out to 5/10 is what I told it to do, and it pulled back a number of little different pieces. One that actually was the main date is 6/5. That's the one for your. If we want to look at it, we could just hit edit. We can come right into it and say, hey, conference for this and that, whatever. That's a basic search. So that's from the expense receipt homepage. I'm bouncing around through these links. If you want to see how to get to the expense receipt homepage from here, it's simply right here. Click. It takes you to the expense receipt homepage, which is basically another door or a portal into this whole section of the application, okay, which deals with money coming out of the bank. You hit show height search criteria. If I wanted a certain vendor, say I wanted to say this, let's just see everything we have from your midwifery type thing, and go search it. Go get it. Click. It pulls back any sort of details or dates or anything that I want to get from it. If I change this up a little bit, I could even change it to, say I get rid of this and I want to say, hey, I want to actually, who created these things? Probably all of me. Reimbursements. Everything that needs reimbursement. What do we have? It just pulls back just my information. Like, there's tons of ways. This is just a basic search. You also have the advanced search. In the advanced search, I just clicked on the link from the expense receipt homepage. There's a link that says advanced. I think I just clicked on something. It's thinking right this second. Just a minute. Gotta love computers, huh? Click on something, waits for a second. Okay, any day now. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and stop that right now, and we'll try it again. Just click on expense receipt homepage. Here's the link to the advanced search, okay? Also, if you are a quick search user and you are anywhere in the system, you could technically go expense receipt and ADV, short for advanced, and hit enter, and boom, it'll pop you right to that advanced search. So this is broken into 3 sections. You have search the main, tons of criteria, including notes. You can search the line items. What types were they? What locations did you set up to? What, etc. Or payments. And there's actually a whole separate little spot that can actually allow you to search payments. If that looks like a ton of stuff and you're like, oh my goodness, that's a ton, you can technically hide a bunch of the stuff as well. Say you just wanted to see the main one, you can click this and then it hides those other little pieces. Just kind of makes it a little bit more digestible. Let's go here and we're going to just search for notes real quick. I know we rewrote the word fun in there. So we got, here's the ones that we did that had some fun in it. Looks like I have some clear back to 510, way back. But anyway, it just allows you to search, and if you know what you're looking for, you can go right into those particular pieces of the puzzle. Any questions on that? Expense receipts are big because basically what you do is they exist all by themselves, and you can also stack them. So anytime you're paying off reimbursements or splits, what you're doing is you're taking little individual pieces and then you're saying, shove that one through. So that's how expenses work. Expenses tied to payroll, expenses tied to a bunch of different